You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in the palm. You are a statement expert like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yeah. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in the palm. You are a statement expert like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You cut me loose. You make me win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yeah.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So here we are, the Advantage Live Show. We're back. I am so excited to be here. I tell you what, it has been a while. I think we've been off for maybe about 8 weeks now, I think. But, you know, life is busy, especially right now in real estate. It is crazy busy right now. I know all of you guys are slammed. So for everybody that's watching, thank you for coming in and watching the show today. I know you guys are busy. And so I've already seen a few people in the comments. That is awesome. We had Patricia here. Patricia, good morning to you. Sold by Chad Tyner. Chad, good to see you, my friend. Let's see who else. We got Holly. Holly, hello. Good morning to you as well. Thank you all so much. If you guys are here, be sure to let us know in the comments that you are here. Say hi to us. We like to know who's watching, and we'll engage with you guys. As always, be sure and engage. Ask questions, leave comments, feedback, anything you like, because we love participation. That's what makes a live show so much fun. So welcome again. And my name is Adam Gullett, Director of Growth with Central 21 Advantage Realty in the beautiful state of Kentucky. This is the part of the show where we just kind of hang out. I'm going to give everybody a little bit more time to settle in before we actually start the live show and do a little bit of groundwork here. So just to be clear, if you guys have a question, please put in the comments question and then followed by the question, so we know it's an actual question you would like to ask. That way it will help us to be able to differentiate between statements and questions. Also, if you are watching this on the replay, please put in the comments #team replay, so we know that you're watching this, you know, after the live show. Just helps us to track engagement, and then we'll reach out to you guys and say thank you as well for watching on the replay. So thank you all as always. Yep, we've got some more people rolling in. Cindy, good morning. Good morning all. Cindy, good morning to you as well. Rhonda, hello Rhonda. Good morning. Tracy Scott, good morning to you, Tracy. Alice, hello. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for coming in. Hey, this is going to be a great show, guys. We got Mike Miedler, President, CEO of Century 21 Real Estate. We're going to be doing an interview and a conversation with him about how he got into real estate and basically what's going on with Century 21 in general and the real estate market. So it's going to be a really good conversation. Oh, there we go. Johnny Knight. There he is. The one and only Johnny Knight. Hey, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Hey, guys. I think we're good to go. We're going to go ahead, and at this point, we're going to start the show. We are settled in, and we are good. Everything's a go. Guys, we will see. Oh, there's Kyler Welch. So glad to be with you today. Excited. Hey, Kyler. Thanks, buddy, for watching. Steve Robinson is here, principal broker owner of Century 21 Advantage Realty. Hey, Steve. Thank you, as always. All right, guys. Thank you all. Let's go ahead, and let's start this show. Welcome to the Advantage Live show. My name is Adam Gullett. I am the Director of Growth with Century 21 Advantage Realty in the beautiful state of Kentucky. You are watching the Advantage Live show. We do this every single Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I want to say a personal thank you for tuning in today to watch this episode. This episode is really going to be just awesome. We've got a conversation with Mike Miedler, President, CEO of Century 21 Real Estate. It's going to be a great deep dive. We're going to talk to Mike about how he got into real estate, his journey that ultimately led him to be the CEO of the largest, the most recognized and one of the largest franchises in the industry. And also a franchise that was named the fastest growing franchise out of all franchises by Entrepreneurial Magazine. So he is the CEO of that. We're going to have a great conversation with him. And then I'm actually going to do another segment today, a segment that we've not done before. I'm calling it the Advantage segment. And this is actually going to be, the topic is going to be pulled directly from a quote that Mike Miedler even has in his own bio. And the statement is this: success in real estate comes down to two factors: taking care of and valuing the customer. So after my conversation with Mike, we're going to be doing that as well. So, it'd be a good conversation. So stay tuned. And also, if you are watching this right now and you want to be entered into the giveaway, please put in the comments, #AdvantageLive. And it'll be put into the drawing for the end of the show where we will be giving away. I'm going to be giving away this planner and calendar. It's called Goal Crazy. I've been using this for a couple years. It's a great little planner just to kind of help you get started in organizing your day. A lot of tips and stuff on how to journal and those type of things. Just a good productivity tool. We're going to be giving that away at the end of the show, and hopefully you guys can win that. But again, put in #AdvantageLive to be entered. All right. So without further ado, let's start off with the interview and conversation with Mike Miedler. All right. Before I bring Mike onto the show, though, I want to give him the proper introduction, and I'm going to read his bio because I want you guys to know who this guy is. It's a privilege to be able to have this conversation with him and talk about Century 21 as a whole. But we want to know who the leader is and who he is and what he's done. So this is a great bio. So bear with me. I'm going to read this to give him the proper introduction. So here we go. Mike believes the emotional connection a buyer has with their home and the memories they make while living there is what makes homeownership so special. Appointed President and Chief Executive Officer for Century 21 Real Estate, a wholly owned subsidiary of Realogy Holdings, in January of 2019, Miedler leads the iconic C21 brand and the organization's approximately 14,250 independently owned and operated offices and over 155,000 independent sales professionals in 86 countries and territories worldwide. A 20-year-plus veteran with the Century 21 brand, Miedler is a leader in residential and commercial real estate franchising, brokerage, and management, and understands the important role the international markets play in expanding the brand and the system's growth opportunities. Mike recognizes that buying and selling a house can be the most complex transaction a person ever makes, which is why he is so passionate about helping Century 21's more than 129,000 independent sales professionals defy mediocrity every single day as they transform the home buying process from just a transaction to an extraordinary experience for their clients. Miedler previously served as Global Growth Officer, CGO of Century 21 Real Estate, leading the franchise sales team with a focus on capturing share in emerging and diverse markets, as well as Senior Vice President overseeing brand development and market share strategy in the U.S. Before joining Century 21, Miedler was Managing Director for Encore International, one of the world's largest commercial real estate networks, where he facilitated commercial real estate transactions across the U.S. and around the globe. Miedler has served as a volunteer to the Junior Achievement Program in New Jersey and as an executive sponsor of the Realogy Next Gen Employee Resource Group. A graduate of Westchester University of Pennsylvania, Mike prides himself on living an active lifestyle, which includes everything outdoors like swimming, running, snowboarding, or just a park, as long as it's with his wife and 4 daughters. That is awesome. Join me in welcoming Mike Miedler to the show. Mike,
hey, Adam,
thank you so much.
Friend? Yeah, that was a mouthful. Gosh, I got to tell you, I didn't realize the bio was that long. I hope Steve's not nervous because you are a natural at this, my friend. I was thinking you should be on like CNN or MSNBC or something.
I appreciate that. Hey, I've seen you on those shows too. You're quite the natural, man. So it's an honor to be able to interview you and have this conversation. And I first off, I just want to say thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy. You've got a lot going on, especially reading the amount of agents inside of the network. I mean, man, there's a lot going on in a market that is, quite frankly, so busy. I mean, just so busy. And we're going to get into that. But before I do, I always like to have a little bit of fun, like icebreakers, some rapid fire questions, those type of things, just to kind of give people insight into who you are. You okay with that?
Yeah, fire away, my friend.
All right, awesome. So here it is. This is a deep one right here. What app on your phone could you not go without?
What app? Oh,
what
gosh,
app?
I would probably say it's my Maps app. Right on the Google Maps, right on my iPhone here. I mean, I travel to so many different cities and honestly in multiple countries. And whether it's to map out my running route for the morning or whether it's to find my hotel or, one of our Century 21 offices, if I didn't have that thing, God, I could only imagine back in the day where, traveling salespeople would be, kind of taking out the folded paper map and, trying to figure out where they're at and where they're headed. But that's an app I can't do without.
That's a good one. I've asked this question a few times, and to be honest, that's probably the one that gets used the most nowadays. We're so dependent on it. I mean, it's funny you mentioned that because we were talking about this with the family the other day. We were on a road trip. We went to Virginia for a bike trip, and I mean, we were using the GPS, and I just mentioned, I was like, man, what would it be like if we had to use the Ray McNally map? I mean, because we took all these back roads to get there. It's like, man, you really had to pay attention to signs and everything. So that's a good one because that's so true. I mean, it's definitely the most used app probably on most people's devices. All right. Well,
gas.
Go ahead. What?
I said it saves me a lot of gas.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Not as many wrong turns. So, all right, here's the next one. What was your first job?
Oh, gosh, my first job, my first professional job was a little different. But I mean, I used to work with my father, honestly, from the time I was like literally probably one of my daughter's age, 12, 13, where he would have me on all types of construction jobs. The ones that I remember the most were actually up on the roof. And when I was that age, I was, probably cleaning up shingles that he was throwing off the roof and throwing into the dumpster. So it was probably with my father. My first real job working for somebody else was probably out landscaping. I did a lot of lawn cutting when I was in my high school years. So
wow.
A lot of manual labor.
Manual labor. I've always said the 2 worst jobs that I can imagine doing was basically roofing and being a moving company. Those 2 jobs, as 2 things I just don't like to do. So that's tough. Roofing is a very tough job. Dangerous too.
Dangerous too. And it's funny because I look back, everything moves forward so quickly with technology and where we're headed. I mean, I'll just give you a quick story. I remember kind of lugging up shingles and plywood to the top of roofs. And like, it was the most strenuous thing you could do. My neighbor got his roof done literally earlier this year. And, they have this super kind of jack that literally is lifting 2 sheets of plywood onto the roof. The guy on the top of the roof is catching them. and literally stacking them down on the. I mean, I was just like blown away and amazed.
Wow.
They take a roof off and put one on before the day's out. It's completely amazing to me.
That is very impressive. We were down in Florida and we watched somebody putting those clay tiles on and hoisting them up, and they were doing something very similar. I mean, they had these big packs and just hauling them up the ladder like it was nothing, up and down all day long. It's amazing. It is amazing.
Major skill.
Yeah. That's good. All right. What's your hidden talent? Got a hidden talent?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have any hidden talents. I mean, my hidden talent would probably be being versatile with people and my family. And I think that's one thing that no matter what you're doing, whether it's business or relationships, you got to be versatile in how you react and work with people. And that might be my only hidden talent.
That's good. I mean, honestly, though, that is a talent because, I mean, you got to be able to adapt. People by nature don't like change. They don't like to get outside of their comfort zones. They don't like those type of things. And, there is a certain breed that I would say that's a talent, my friend, for sure. All right. One more for you. All right, I got two more. Let's start off with this one. Favorite superhero? I'm asking this for my 14-year-old son.
Favorite superhero? That's a good one. I mean, I am honestly a huge fan of the Star Wars entire, now we're into what, 6 or 7, but, so it'd have to be either like a Han Solo or a Chewbacca. Like I like Luke too, but I think I got to put it right there with like a Han Solo guy who's living a little bit on the edge. He had a little bit of a mysterious side, but he was there fighting for the good of the people and doing anything he could to kind of keep the force going and fight for good. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Han Solo, man, that's a good choice. I would have to agree with that. It's kind of like he's kind of like the Batman of Star Wars, like it's like you could actually be this guy. Other superheroes, they got skills and stuff, but not
exactly.
Not Han Solo, man. He's just developed. He's just a man. He
was just there with his grit.
That's right, just grit. Well, you made my son happy because he's a big Star Wars fan. So awesome. Great answer. All right. Last one. What's one thing your mother or father taught you that completely changed your life?
It probably goes back to what I said a little bit earlier. It's probably all about work ethic, right? I tell the story a lot, and I've said it from stage. My father had a way about going about his business. He was actually a firefighter, and he moonlit doing a lot of construction. And no matter what he did, he instilled in me that you got to work really, really hard. I kind of use this quote. Literally, I was just with a bunch of folks up in the Connecticut marketplace, about 200 plus of our agents and brokers. And, right there on the restaurant, as I was walking through the hotel, was a quote by Michael Jordan, which says, basically, if you put in the work, the results will follow. And that's something my father believed in and just instilled that in me from a really early age. But on top of that, it's not just putting in the hard work, but it's how you treat your customers, how you treat the folks that you're dealing with every single day. And, I say all the time, he used to literally knock on the front door of the homes that we were working on, whether we were outside on the roof or doing something in their house, and, just talk to them about them. How's it going? How was your son's basketball game last night? Can you believe this weather? Or, just really strike up a conversation and treat people the way they wanted to be treated and communicate with them. So, I think those are two skills that I've always learned and have instilled in hopefully my kids as well. Hard work and just really connecting with people.
Man, that's really, really good. I mean, I can totally relate to that completely. And we'll probably get into this a little bit, but it is such a relationship type business, and every business it's so relational. But, when you first get into real estate, if we just use real estate as an example, you got to be willing to work. You got to take the bad with the good. You're not going to get the easy clients every single time. You're going to have some challenges. And realizing that it's still a person at the end of that transaction, even when things are hard, but being willing to be able to work hard to really help somebody else fulfill their dream, is what makes us, our job so special.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. Well, let's jump into the actual conversation now. That's a great segue into just walk us through kind of your journey. Like, where did you grow up? What did you do before real estate? Those type of things. Like, give us some insight into that journey?
Yeah, I might give you too much detail here, but I grew up literally on the other end of the county where I live with my kids and wife right now. It's Nutley, New Jersey is where I grew up. If you ever fly into Newark, New Jersey, and probably many folks who have been part of the Century 21 system have, I know you have, Adam, being part of IMA and some of the other things. But you fly into Newark, and on the northern end of the county is a town called Nutley. So I grew up in Essex County. I'm still a New Jersey guy. New Jersey gets a lot of bad raps for a lot of reasons, like, Jersey Shore and Jersey Housewives and The Sopranos and that kind of thing. It's actually a beautiful state. It's a garden state.
Yes.
I tell people that all the time. But, I grew up in a blue collar family, and me and my brother and sister and our family lived there and worked really hard. We're instilled with a lot of work ethic, as I said earlier. And I think that's kind of carried out in what I do, and actually my siblings as well, as they've grown in their careers. But I went to college. I kind of didn't even know I was going to go to college. My father was like, look, you got to do it. You got to go after it. I was literally the first one in my family to do it. And, like most young kids, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I studied criminal justice. I think early on I wanted to be an FBI agent. Because I was like drawn in by Fox Mulder and the X-Files and Scully and all that stuff. And so anyway, I got a little bit smarter as I grew older and decided that, I just wanted to get a career in business. So I minored in accounting as well. And as I graduated school, there was a great company. It was called Sendon at the time. That was hiring a lot of young professionals. And it was a big organization. And a friend of mine said, look, this Century 21 is hiring a bunch of new folks over here at this company called Sendon. I could probably get you an interview. And I was like, okay, sure. And I joke around with people, Adam. I literally got started at the ground level. I mean, I say, whether you want to call it the mail room or whatever, I was, the one who was just trying to figure out how to support the organization and do anything that got my hands dirty in order to learn about the business. And I was actually renewing Century 21 franchises was my first job.
Oh, okay.
And learn the contract, learn the reason that brokers wanted to be part of the system, learn the reason that they had challenges with the system, why they did it for their agents, how it helped their agents, how it helped their local communities. And from there, I just, probably held almost every position inside the organization over the last 20 years. So it's been a fun ride and an exciting ride, but I started with Century 21 right from the get-go. And like I said before that, it was just a whole bunch of manual labor.
Wow. To be honest, this is probably one of the things I have noticed the most is your approachability. You, since you have worked in every avenue of this business, you actually do understand the process that all of us go through. And I have noticed that the way you interact and you engage the individual offices, individual agents, or so forth comes from that place where you can immediately understand where they're going. And we'll get into this a little bit later too, just talking about the brand itself. But, I think that is one of the reasons it has helped the franchise itself to become so strong is the leader in charge understands what we go through on a daily basis. And on top of that, you've made yourself approachable and available. So I just say thank you, because it has been very, very nice.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, it's honestly, the public, I don't think recognizes what the real estate professional does every single day. Right. I know we'll probably get into this further on in the conversation, but if you hear some of the stories about what Century 21 agents are doing to deliver the dream of home ownership and just the paces that they're going through. I mean, I can guarantee there's multiple agents in the Century 21 Advantage office that have done a ton of manual labor on a house or getting a house ready or for their client in order to get through the process and get through the sale. And so I just don't think folks recognize that and what we do every single day in order to, provide for our consumers.
Yeah, that's well said. They don't realize the hard work that goes into getting that closing to happen and to take place and to get there. Yeah, that's very true. And a lot of industries they try to attempt to devalue the real estate agent's role. And in the end, they never really can, because we do provide more and more value. And I think that's, that's key. Well, let's talk about that. Let's transition now kind of a little bit now into the Century 21 brand itself. Let's go back to kind of the beginning. Some people watching might not even know the history of Century 21, but if you could walk us through kind of a brief history about where we came from to where we are now, and some of the key points that made Century 21 navigate the changing waters that we see, and all the changing of the markets and industry and so forth.
Yeah,
would you mind kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
It's actually a really timely question, Adam. You know this, but I mean, obviously this year, 2021, I joke around about it all the time. I say 2021 is the year of Century 21. It's the year of our brand. It's actually our 50th anniversary, just July 28th or 29th. I forget the actual date. I think
so awesome.
We actually celebrated our incorporation, which happened in Southern California by two entrepreneurs, which I think changed the industry back in the day. They were the original disruptors. Art Bartlett, Marsh Fisher, Orange County, California, decided that, you know what, we have an opportunity to weave up all of these sales professionals across this great country and around the world who have this common vision about how real estate should be done and how we should take care of our consumers. And they did it in an amazing marketing ploy. And, it was funny because the name Century 21 at that time was debated heavily, and they wound up landing here. I think one of the other names they were picking out was like Green Acres or something. But, and now today, you look and people are saying, well, Century 21, gosh, we're moving forward. And it was forward looking at the point, and here we are in the 21st century. So, these guys were amazing entrepreneurs, and they really found a way to galvanize real estate professionals around the globe. And they did it, as we know, if you look back through a lot of great marketing, like the gold jackets, which people wore proudly as a marketing symbol, and quite candidly still do today. There's many of our countries. Like if you go to China, or you go to Japan, or you go anywhere in Europe, they're wearing those gold jackets proudly. You'll see a sea of thousands of them at their conventions, because it's a calling card. It's a symbol. It's like, the business cards or, the iPhones that we use today. That's what it stands for in their local marketplace.
And they show they're proud. I mean, they're proud of it. I mean, they're very proud of it. At the convention, you can see them. They come up on stage and everything. They've all got their coats on, their jackets. I mean, it's impressive. And I do love that.
It is. And it's the culture that exists in their specific countries and within their organizations. And look, it does in some marketplaces here. I can tell you that, you'd be hard pressed to go in to wear a gold jacket with your name tag on it, to walk into a Home Depot and not have, or a Lowe's or a hardware store or a grocery store, and not have somebody ask you about how's the real estate market right now.
That's true.
So anyway, the long and short of it is that, over the 50 years, we've kind of continued to flex and move forward in what the visioning was, with, again, the customer always front and center. We've done so many amazing things over the years. One of the biggest things that I'm proud of, that I continue to try to push today, going back to the consumer and the consumer being at the center of everything that we do, is, 20 plus years ago, we instilled our quality service surveys, and they've evolved into what they are today. They're done through social media. We do them through Real Satisfied. There's many different ways to leverage them. But the truth of the matter is, we're the first to be really intentional about recognizing and understanding how the consumer felt about their experience with us. And I think I say this all the time to professionals or offices or management or leaders, like the folks inside of our system who use our quality service surveys and are really intentional about getting that feedback from their customers. When they score high, meaning they're in that 90% plus level, they do double the amount of business, whether it's agents or offices, than everybody else in our system. So if you're truly thinking about the customer every step of the way, and even measuring it after the fact, and trying to make every point in the process that defy mediocrity extraordinary experience, you are just ultimately going to do more repeat, more referral business, and you're going to just be more successful in the real estate industry. So something I'm super proud of, right? And then, there's a lot of stuff we've done in between, being on Super Bowls, Cake Boss, literally next week. I don't know if you know this, Adam, next week we are going to release our documentary. It's the National Geographic documentary. It's going to be really exciting. We partnered with them because literally home over the last couple years here, at least the last 18 months, has completely been redefined. And we're going to shine a big spotlight on that to the consumers and other people around the globe on how home has changed in the last 18 months and where it's moving going forward, because we are going to continue to see the home be more and more important to people and families. And again, we're going to be the ones who define that in our local marketplaces.
That's really good. I mean, well said. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I've actually been talking about that to our agents and letting them know that's happening. So hopefully they can tune in and watch that. It's exciting that we're part of that, but it has been completely redefined. You are exactly right. And so as in some ways, the agent business in a way, or at least they've tried to redefine it in a little bit. But I think what you just said, bringing it back to the customer is absolutely key. You know, and if you look at what Entrepreneur Magazine said about us being the fastest growing franchise, right? Like what a great testament, because I think you might agree with this, part of why that even happened is because that customer experience was so extraordinary that they gave us great reviews and they boosted our franchise up to that level because it's growth. You know, there's a lot of noise out there in the real estate. A lot of people trying to get the real estate agent to buy this or to do this or to embrace this. And to be frank, it's a lot of it is just a distraction. If it doesn't help you build a relationship or provide a better service to the consumer, it's noise. And we've got to figure out a way to kind of juggle the noise versus what actually brings value back to the client. Because, you know, these tech industries are trying to come in, they're trying to insert themselves and do whatever it is they do. But if we continue to provide value back, like you were saying, it's going to be almost impossible for them to do so, because that's where our service and our value lies. It's in serving that client. I just think that is well said. And I'm going to jump to the next question on that, because it's going back to even kind of, was it last year or the year before, we were talking about the brilliant basics. So Century 21, they have the brilliant basics. Walk us through how that came up, like how that happened and what they are and those type of things.
Absolutely. And this is just, again, goes back to the core of our beliefs in serving the customer, Adam, right? It's all about the experience, because, you know, we take people on a journey. And I think what folks don't recognize is that, you know, from the time that they look, you know, they go and they grab their cell phone and they look at the property they want online, whether it's century21.com or the site that they love to use locally. And they say, yeah, you know what, this is it. Now I'm going to go out and find a real estate agent and go through the process and figure out how I, you know, make this dream of home ownership come true. And what people don't recognize is there's literally like 150 to 180 different steps after they actually make an offer on the house to the time that their real estate agent passes them the keys and they walk in that door. And, you know, we as real estate professionals have to navigate that every step of the way. It's not something that happens overnight. In fact, in the last 18 months, we know that, you know, homes have obviously gone really, really quickly, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Like an offer might be made in 12 days, but at the same time, after those 12 days come to pass, there's still a lot of stuff that a real estate professional has to do. So, you know, we went out and surveyed our very best agents in the system, the one who consistently not just showed great business results and racked up a ton of transactions and awards, but the ones who, again, were really intentional about their quality service and scored really high on our quality service. And we went out and surveyed them all and found out what was really important for their business and how they treated their customers and what they did throughout the process. And we found these brilliant basics that were really the core of what each one of them did in order to deliver on that extraordinary experience. And there's things in there like, I am a conscious communicator, right? But one of the biggest things, as we talked about a little bit earlier, is communication. Yes. It's a long process. Sometimes for consumers, it's one of the most, I would call it, complained about subjects. It's like, I haven't heard from my real estate agent. Well, the ones who overly consciously communicate are the ones who do the most extraordinary job and just take the stress out of the process for their consumer. So, you know, that's one of the brilliant basics. Always give it 121%. You know, you've heard me say the 121% rule. You can't bring 99% to the table.
That's right.
Expect your consumer to be happy. You got to over deliver every step of the way. And again, that's Adam, as you know, that's what's going to bring the repeats. That's what's going to bring the referral business when you do it 121%.
That's right.
I am the master of their journey, right? It's not about me. It's not about the real estate professional. It's not about, you know, what I want or what I see or what's happening. It's really understanding the desire and the why behind why people are trying to purchase a property or sell their property, and make that why part of the experience that you're providing for them, and understanding that and the why for their family, and just providing back to them. So, it's these brilliant basics that I think are a cornerstone. I think most of our great real estate professionals, they do them unconsciously. Like, it's just part of who they are. It's part of their DNA. But we want it to be really clear. If you want to have success in this business, if you follow these, trust me, you will be a winner. You'll succeed, and you'll continue to provide for your consumer.
Yeah, that's really, really good. You're right. And I love even the name of it, Brilliant Basics, because you got to go back to the basics, and not let all this other stuff distract you from those, and provide that service and that value. I think they're great. Matter of fact, I'm going to, over the next few weeks, I'm going to have a segment in the show dedicated to one of the brilliant basics each time, because I want agents just to grab hold of this, because we have a tendency as humans to overcomplicate things, and we lose sight of what really matters. So what I like about the brilliant basics is they bring us right back to that human element of connecting and providing value back to the consumer. So
I love that. And I love that you are taking hold of them and really bringing them to the folks on the front line who are out there serving their consumers. It's just a great leadership point, and I appreciate that, Adam.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about the real estate market generally, just as a whole. Obviously last year was last year. We won't rehash that. But we were even talking about this earlier. It changed a lot. The way people live in their homes, the documentary, these type of things are coming out, and this is what's happened. What kind of effects do you see from all this, and what are some of the biggest changes going forward that have come out of last year that you kind of see and foresee happening?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest. The last 18 months have been a roller coaster turned into a sprint, right? The market's been absolutely wild. So no matter what you look at, let's be honest. I mean, as real estate professionals, we've had to navigate a global pandemic. We've had to navigate a recession. We've had to navigate the way that we do business with our customers, and pushed ourselves way outside of our comfort zone. Got pushed into technologies and doing things like, there were states who shut real estate professionals down and didn't allow them to actually transact. So we've dealt with a ton, on top of making sure that we keep our friends, our family, our consumers' health and safety top of mind. So
yes,
we have been pushed light years outside of what any one of us have done in our personal or business lives, probably in a lifetime. That said, we've been really lucky from a real estate industry business perspective, right? The market, after, call it, the second quarter of last year, has been, for lack of a better word, just extraordinary. I mean, no matter what you look at, whether pick a statistic, it's either a record high or a record low, right?
Yes.
Days on market, record low. Inventory, record low. Prices, record high, right? It's just like you go on and on and on. So it's been a crazy sprint. What I think we are in for, just because of pure supply and demand, like this goes back to just good old fashioned economics, is a long marathon. And I'll tell you why, Adam. If you look at a couple points here, right? We joke around, you might be one of these guys, but we joke around about millennials. There's 90 million out there, right? Yes. They're the largest generation in U.S. history. And right behind them is Gen Z, the second largest generation in U.S. history. It's about 160 million total. And they are storming the real estate market. They are looking to build wealth. They're looking to build security for their family. They're looking to settle down. In fact, millennials won't reach the median age for the first-time homebuyer for another 4 years. So there's still this huge wave of them to come into the marketplace. The problem right now is we don't have enough first-time homebuyer inventory in any market. I can guarantee you guys don't have any in Southern Kentucky, and I know we don't have any really in the rest of the country. It's just
agreed.
It's market right now, right?
Yeah.
So on top of that, we have the greatest U.S. savings rate that we've had in literally a decade. And so whether it's millennials or first-time homebuyers, or whether it's folks who are looking at move-up buying, or folks who are looking at the second home or vacation home, you see people coming out of the woodwork trying to find their next piece of property, maybe even as an investment. On top of that, you've got interest rates, right? Interest rates, guys, have gone down for the past 40 years.
Yes.
40 years, right? And so we joke around, we say they can only go higher. It's probably true. I mean, there's no way that they're going to stay at historic lows where they're at.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's just put more affordability in people's pockets. On top of that, with where the median income has gone in this country, interest rates would really have to expand kind of to a very large level in order for those ratios to be thrown off into some type of place that it was unaffordable. So homes are really, really affordable. Money is really, really affordable right now. And on top of that, you've got this pandemic, which has changed the way that people live their lives. Whether it's the work from home dynamic, the fact that people can work anywhere and want better tax destinations, more space, better weather, whatever that is, it's driving demand in our real estate market. From a
That's
supply
so true.
side, right? I mean, you got to say all that's true in almost every market. On the supply side, you've got literally an industry that literally has underbuilt for the last decade. Since 2012, even further back, 2010, we haven't been building enough to keep pace with the amount of household formations that are going to be coming out from these huge generations that we're talking about. Plus, you've got baby boomers, thank God, who are living older, they're aging in place and just staying where they're at because they love their communities and they're healthy and just kind of staying with the process, right? And then last but not least, in this crazy world that we're seeing right now with, just logistics and supplies, I was just actually my landscaper was here a little bit earlier today talking about his just trying to find help, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So whether it's labor or lumber or what have you, we just don't have enough of it in the country right now to keep demand with building projects and getting things set up so that we can keep pace with where our household formations are going. So like I said, guess what, guys? We're going to get back to a spot where inventory is 4, 5, 6 months, which, believe it or not, is a healthy market. We're going to get back to a place where your listing doesn't go under contract in 48 hours. It's going to be a good thing, guys. There's going to be a ton of business to be done, but we're going to get more back to a normal market for the foreseeable future. To your point earlier, Adam, we just got to do what the basics of this business are, which is to be out there on the front line, prospecting, getting belly to belly, warming those relationships, and really working our sphere of influence in order to get the inventory, in order to put people in homes.
Yeah, that's well said. And, I'll add this too. You mentioned the millennial side. Well, to be honest, the pandemic and the way business is done favors the millennial and their career choice because they're already a pretty tech savvy group and generation, and especially the generation right after that as well. So the industries in general have now come full circle now to benefit the millennial because of now look what we're doing right now. Virtual meetings and live shows, and they're here to stay, and that is in their wheelhouse. So those jobs are now going to start opening up. So they're going to start getting more and more hires. They're going to be entering in the market and maybe can even afford a bigger and broader home than what it typically would be in the past because of their skill set and what is needed now in the marketplaces. So it's very interesting what we see going on. And I agree. I've never seen a market where low interest rate, employment's there, supplies are, basically really low, and you got this demand that is going through the roof. It's just a very interesting market we find ourselves in. No doubt about it. It's crazy. Guys, I'll add this. If you guys have a question for Mike, please throw it down in the comments and ask. Feel free to do so. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to make a comment. Two things. One, you said it really well. It's like millennials and Gen Zers, they want to be served through technology. They want to be served through a more streamlined process. So again, we got pushed outside of our comfort zone through a pandemic to serve the clients that way, but we got to continue that and keep thinking forward to what they're going to want, because they're going to want a different experience than what we've seen in years past. So that's one point. And then your other point, just on the hot market, it's like, I think the number is 113 straight months of year-over-year price gains, which is just wild. That's got to stop, guys. It's not. I don't think it can continue on.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable. But again, we've got to do the basics, but the demand will be there.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, hey guys, a challenge for all you agents out there, be equipped with knowledge about the market, what's going on in your local area and abroad. And then really, I mean, talking about the millennial in that market and that next move, it's time to do some research, begin to understand that client because it's coming. If you want to position yourself for growth, going with what Mike was just saying, I think that's the next marketing angle. So that's really, really good. Looks like we have a couple things here. No questions I don't see, but Steve says, Mike, thank you so much for being on the show today. It is really appreciated. Go C21.
Hey, Steve. I saw you said Steve logged on, which is awesome. I appreciate that, Steve. Talk about one of the great leaders in this business and in our industry. I mean, I don't know how many people who are listening today recognize the growth that Century 21 Advantage has seen down in that marketplace. I was just looking at statistics a little bit earlier. I mean, I saw 46% year-over-year growth. Amazing, guys. And I know that's because of guys like Johnny Knight, who I saw log on, and some of the other Century 21 professionals, guys. So keep up the amazing work. I can bet this, Adam, that every single one of those folks who are making it happen every single day will tell you they put the customer service experience number one in their business.
Guaranteed it. Yeah, guarantee. Tracy Scott, I have two. She's talking about the gold jackets.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
I love it. I actually have one. I've worn it, overseas in Japan, but I do a lot of videos and I do a lot of this type of stuff for the overseas, at least in the last 18 months. And I wear it often, Tracy. So wear it proud.
That's right. Let's bring it back, man. Let's bring it back. April, she says it's all in the follow-up. Continuous follow-up. Yeah. Don't be the secret agent. And just because the closing happened, move on. Right. I mean, it comes into that cultivating that relationship. So awesome. Mike, I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show and just, connect with us again, just a testament to who you are and Century 21 and the whole network. So thank you.
Yeah, Adam, absolutely. I appreciate everything you guys are doing on the front line. Look, I mean, we are defined by every single professional who holds the business card, every single company and leader that, puts our sign up on their building. And I just want to say thanks to Century 21 Advantage and everything you guys are doing for home buyers and sellers throughout that Kentucky marketplace. So keep up the amazing work, keep up the brilliant basics, and thanks for everything you guys do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Mike.
You got it, my friend. We'll talk soon. Have a great weekend.
Absolutely. You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. What a great conversation. We got a few more things rolling in here. So let's see. Oh, there we go. Mike and Adam, thank you for making the time to share your action thoughts for this ever-changing market. Yes, you are so welcome. It's very good. The more information we can get, the better. Rhonda, I remember the gold jackets. Yes, let's bring them back. Let's do it. I like that. Mary, thank you both for taking time. I agree with follow-up. Chad, love the tools that C21 provides us, especially technology. Yep, Chad, that is so true. Technology is a piece of the puzzle for sure. Your leadership is unmatched. Oh, I totally agree. It's really, really good. Century 21 really changed my life. I love real estate. And April, I want a gold jacket. That's awesome. We definitely need to do it. That's awesome. We need to get a group photo of everybody with their gold jackets on. We're going to bring this thing back. It's not dated. It's still cool. All right. Awesome. I want to end with this. There was a statement that Mike always likes to say, and I'm going to say it now. Delivering an extraordinary experience is all about trying to set a positive tone and projecting the passion you have for the customer's ultimate success early in the relationship. Success in real estate comes down to two factors: taking care of and valuing the customer. This is going to be the next segment I'm going to be talking about. Before I move on, though, we still got the live drawing going on, the giveaway, giving away the Gold Crazy Planner. It is an awesome planner. On the left side, you have just some daily prompts about what you're grateful for, thankful for. It's got a spot for you to put your little calendar and what you got going on, what kind of appointments. Then you also have on the right side, you have a place that has little prompts about your day, positive sentence to describe the day, accomplishments from the day, best moments from the day, and then an area to do a little bit of journaling. I've actually been doing this for about 2 or 3 years, and I've got a bunch of these books sitting around. I'm a big fan of it. So this is going to be the giveaway because I want you guys to try it out and get some feedback, but I'll just make a plug. There's no referral fee or affiliate fee at all. Goal Crazy Planner. You can Google that. Goal Crazy Planner. I like it. Full Focus Planner is another really good one. This one just is a little bit of a better price. So that's what I'm going with, but it is a giveaway. So if you type in that hashtag right there, Advantage Live, into the comments, you'll be entered to at the end of the show to do the drawing. So be sure to do so. All right, guys, we are going to transition over to the new segment that I'm just calling The Advantage. So here we go. All right, so this segment is The Advantage. It's going to be aimed at giving you guys a little bit of something of value that you can apply into your business. Today, it's directly removed from the quote that Mike Miedler just said. Success in real estate comes down to 2 factors: taking care of and valuing the customer. You know, we talked a lot about that with Mike and about what that looks like and how to do that. And to be honest, this is the market we find ourselves in. This is what is going on. We have to redefine what it is that we provide value back to the consumer. If you want to stay relevant in this industry, that's what you have to do. Here's a statement that I had written out in regards to this, and I'm going to read this to you. As a realtor, you are your most valuable asset. Your clients will always remember how you made them feel when they were with you. They'll also recall the advice and guidance that was given to them. If they felt valued, then their experience with you will be positive and memorable. It's important to show people that they matter. By doing this, not only do we make our customers happy, but we can create lifelong relationships as well. So here's a question for you guys. I'm going to post this up here on the screen. What is your favorite way to show your customers that their opinion matters? And what are some of the ways you show people that you value them? Let us know in the comments. What is your favorite way to show your customers that their opinion matters? What are some of the ways you show people that you value them? I'd love to get some input on this. Take your time. I'm going to read off a few of the tips on how I think you can show value back to your customers. And these are just things for food for thought. I'm going to take a swig of water here. That's a human action. We all get thirsty. All right, here we go. Number 1 is simple. Have a positive outlook and be willing to listen. Make sure your client knows their opinion matters. We have a tendency, it's just human nature, to continue to insert our own opinions and talk a lot. I challenge you guys to put into your model, the way you communicate is listening more and talking less. Let them know that when they have an opinion about something, that you truly do value them. Okay. Number 2 is ask a lot of questions and take note of what they say. Learn everything about the client you can, birthdays, anniversaries, etc. Learn their kids' names, memorize the people's names, the family, what they like, what they dislike, foods, whatever it may be, get to know the client. If you ask a lot of questions, you're going to portray that you're interested in that client. Therefore, they're going to be more connected to you in a relational type of way. So be sure and phrase a bunch of questions that you can ask, because that is engaging and people want to know that you care about who they are and what they want, especially in the industry that we find ourselves in. All right. Number 3. Be honest about the pros and cons of any property you're showing or listing. Don't be afraid to tell them your actual thoughts about the property. We've all been there, right? You're going into a listing and the seller asks you, what do you think? Do I need to declutter? Or what about this room? Or what about this closet? Or what about this paint? If they ask that question, a lot of realtors, a lot of times, hopefully you're honest with them, but a lot of times you feel uncomfortable giving them a true statement about what your thoughts are about their home, right? Because it's their home. They made it themselves. They decorated. But here's the thing I want you to keep in mind. They are hiring you as a professional. And as a professional, you are there to perform the job for them that they're hiring you to do. And that is to sell their home for the maximum amount of money possible, right? So if they ask you, what do you think I need to do to this home? You need to be honest and tell them exactly what you see that needs to be adjusted. So be honest with them. They might not like it at first, but they will like it at closing if you maximize their sale price. Trust me, that's what it's all about. Number 4, provide knowledgeable answers to questions, including those about schools, local amenities, and the market. Show your clients that you care by being responsive when they contact you, whether it's for an appointment or just to talk things over on the phone. Okay, so they're going to be asking you a lot of questions. As agents and as professionals, we need to make sure that we are aware about what is going on in the market. We touched on this with the interview, right? We want to make sure that we understand what the market is doing, where it's going, because they're relying on us to have that information. Remember, this is a transaction that most people hardly ever do. It's also the most expensive purchase they might ever make. It's also one of the most regulated type of purchases they will ever make. So we are the professionals that need to have the information about what is going on. So they are relying on us to provide them with that correct information. Due diligence as an agent is crucial to being a professional and helping to build the relationship back with the consumer and actually setting yourself up to be able to produce value and build a referral business, right? All right. Number 5, have a reliable follow-up plan. Not for just during the transaction in the process, but for after. Stay in contact. This is a referral business. It is so easy for us to close the deal, get the check, and move on. And now not everyone's that bad at that, but we do get busy and we forget to go back and still connect with the previous clients we worked with. Figure out a system that works for you. I don't care if it's handwritten or it's a CRM or it's a journal, whatever it is, Excel sheet, whatever your process is, it needs to be a reliable one that you go back to often and you can keep records of. All right, because you want to stay in communication with these clients because in the end, it is a referral business. Number 6, empathize with their situation to show you care about them as a person. Okay, you got to also understand this. This is hard. There's so many times we get involved in a transaction and the emotions are high and the emotions are channeled directly at us as the professional in the transaction, right? So they channel it towards us and it can sometimes come across like they are upset with us or done with us or whatever it may be. But again, going back to what I just previously said, it's a transaction they hardly ever do, one of the most expensive and most regulated. It is stressful. And then you add on top of that, the moving process. They're going through a lot. We have got to be able to show empathy, even when they're irrational. So because we want to make sure that they understand the end goal is to close their property and that we're there to support them. So be sure and to empathize. Last one, ask for feedback from time to time. Think about this. If you're going through a transaction, we can make the assumption that we've just got it all figured out and we're really good at what we're doing. Or we can even ask, hey, just kind of curious, am I addressing the requirements and the issues that you have in a timely manner? Am I satisfying the need? Am I providing a value back to you? If not, I am a professional. I'm always ready and willing to adapt and be better at these things. And I would like to know. So if I'm not communicating well, can we have an open relationship and be better at doing this, right? Having a conversation with your client lets them know that you're vulnerable and it's okay that you're asking them these questions. So to me, ask for feedback from time to time. Inside of Central 21, we actually have Real Satisfied. So after the transaction, we can send and ask for a testimonial review. Hopefully you've served them well and they leave you a really, really good one. So there's some tips for you guys. I do have some posts in the comments I'm going to bring up. Patricia Nadim says, listen to them and take note on their desires. Oh, that's a good one. Desire. What is it they desire? That's good, Patricia. Very, very good. Johnny Knight, acknowledging them and actually listening. Yeah, that's very true. We can listen, but the key is letting them know that you hear them. So in other words, basically what Johnny's saying there is like when they say something, it's like, hey, yeah, you know what? I understand where you're coming from with that. Let's see how we can get through this together. Or let's see, that's a good question. I understand where you're coming from with that opinion. So let's see if we can address it this way, right? That is good. Patricia with another one. Invite them at a closing to their favorite restaurant. There you go. There you go. Connect with them personally. That's good. That's good. Rhonda, listening to people is key. Yep, it really is. We have a tendency to just want to insert our own opinions and just go that direction because we're the professional, right? But just as an example about what happened once, and I've heard this, I can't remember what agent it was, but they told me this story, is they had a property and they were a newer agent and they learned this lesson. They went to show the property. The buyer showed up at the property. The buyer gets out of the property and she said, and the buyer says to the agent, wow, this one, this like kind of like this. Oh, this house has a pool. And immediately the agent started saying, oh, well, you know what? The sellers actually said the pool can be removed if need be, if you don't like the pool, and went on this whole big conversation about how much the pool could be removed. And then the buyer then says, oh, well, no, actually, I think I would like to have a pool. So moral of that story is, hey, maybe we should listen because maybe we messed up the deal right before the deal could even happen because we were so ready to defend the property. So listen more. So yes, listening is key. Being authentic with them. Yes, absolutely. Being real, right? We need to be human. It's okay to not have answers to everything. You know, a true professional, we've heard this many times, doesn't always have the answer. They just know where to get it. So it's the same statement with what Patricia is saying there. Being authentic with them. Absolutely. Yeah, this is good. But okay. So Patricia, valuable data can be collected from your clients who found their home through you. Ask them what they are doing with the home since they bought it, what they are most likely to change since they bought the home. You can use that information in the future and makes the customer feel like you still care, which will help you be the first person they mention if someone mentions they are either going to sell their home or buy a new one. Great. Excellent. Very, very good, guys. That's good stuff. Thank you all so much. So, this is one more question for you guys, and you can leave it in the comments, but we're not going to get to them in this show. We're going to be wrapping up here. But what do you think is the most important part of a successful relationship between a customer and real estate agent? What do you think is the most important part of a successful relationship between a customer and a real estate agent? So I want you guys just to be pondering that. What is something that you can do and focus on as the most important part of building that relationship? All right, guys, we are coming to the end of this show. We went over. That's okay. One more call. Those that want to enter into the giveaway right now, you can still do so. You put in the comments #Advantage Live right there on the screen. Type that in if you would like to be entered. So we'll give it a little bit more time. What I'm doing this season, though, I'm kind of switching up just a little bit. We're going to go from having interviews to having the advantage moments and back and forth. The whole goal here is to make sure that we're providing value back to you guys and helping you guys grow your real estate career. It does not matter if you're with Central 21 or not. This is for all of us, right? We're doing this together. We're all in this industry together. So I'm going to be doing a video series on this show, and I'm calling it the Real Estate Agent's Brilliant Basics. I mentioned that earlier in the show. Basically, I'm going to be taking this Century 21 Brilliant Basics and dissecting each one about how those basic actions can help you build a long-lasting referral-based real estate business. Now, these are core beliefs of Century 21, but again, can be applied to any real estate agent's business. These are just the brilliant basics that we try to adhere to as a franchise. So, and basically, here's a statement to summarize what those are. The brilliant basics are the standards of client service that Century 21 agents deliver to provide an extraordinary experience for their clients. But even if you are not a C21 agent, these brilliant basics are a great thing to implement into your business. So I'm calling next week's episode the Advantage episode. I'm transparent. I build trust. And I will note, and they are in the comments and watching this show, I believe, we are also going to be having a conversation with the Angels team, Rhonda Tipton, April Nall, and Tina Clay. We're going to be having a conversation with them. Basically, they're going to be part of a segment called Here We Grow Again. And we're going to be welcoming them into Central 21. They came over from another company, and we're going to be talking about how they got into real estate and their journey that led them to where they are now. And you'll get to know them on the next episode as well. So it's going to be awesome. All right, guys, as the wrap up, we are doing the giveaway. So bear with me, and I'm going to share my screen and bring up the giveaway tool. Here we go. Oh, real quick before I even get into this. Yeah, Patricia, trust. Going back to the question I asked. Trust. Yeah, truth. There you go. That's a good one, guys. Absolutely true. Absolutely. Awesome. All right, guys, here we go. This is the giveaway for the Go Crazy. Hopefully everybody is in that wants to be in, and you will be ready to win this. I am going to find my fun, creative music to go along with this. And I think this is the button. I'm going to try it. Ah, that is it. Here we go. The drawing has now commenced. Who's going to win the planner? Here we go. It always lags on somebody's name and then it jumps. Alice Wagner, congratulations. You have now won this wonderful planner. I will get that to you. Alice, congratulations. Well done. I hope you enjoy it and use it, and it helps you organize your day. I know I have truly enjoyed it myself. And it's just a great little tool for our arsenal that we use every single day to help keep our lives organized. Hey, guys, I just want to say thank you, as always, for being on the show or coming and watching the show. I really do appreciate it. Johnny just did a shout out to Alice. Congratulations, Alice. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Johnny. So I'm going to end the show now, guys. I really do appreciate it. We'll be back next Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, where you're watching it now. If you have not, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting on whichever platform you're using, Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, whichever one that you're on. Be sure to do that if you can. If you got any kind of value, please let us know in the comments. And we'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, be fearless, keep pushing forward, and never stop being relentless in your pursuit of excellence. I will catch you guys next time. Have an amazing weekend.